If you're a farm CEO, in fact, look, it doesn't even matter. You don't even have to be a farm CEO. But those of you who follow me, you know the reason why I always talk about farm CEOs, because they are my primary target audience. They've been that way. It's been that way for me for over 10 years. They've been the most reliable patrons of my brand. They've been the ones that have given me the highest quality feedback. They are the ones that have been most forthcoming in terms of asking for my help, and most importantly, they have been the one that have been most actively making use of the solutions I provide. Generally, of course, I do have clients in other industries, as some of you know, especially in the area of web marketing. That's been an area where I've gotten a lot of attention as well. But more often than not, it's been those people who have been my clients as farm business owners who then just kind of upsold the idea of web marketing too. But back to the reason for this short recording. The video you're looking at right now, I'm sure you've been wondering about it. You can see a, it's very interesting, but I just love it. It's a plow. Rather than being drawn by a mule or a bull or a tractor, it's been drawn by a car. It's ironic. You will agree with me that many people who have need to prepare large expanses of land, and more often than not, they will say, oh, you've got to hire a tractor for XYZ amount of money for the day, for the week, for the month, and this farmer then has to go and look at where he can borrow the money from if he doesn't have it, and even if he has it, he has to begin to think of what other things you might want to use that money for, and start thinking of how to split the money between those two or more things he wants to do. So look at this gentleman pulling the car, this very small car, and he's pulling and he's getting the job done. Like the person who posted this video on Facebook said, he said there are people like this all over the country who are using their creative energies in this manner to get around the limitations imposed on them by their socio-economic circumstances. He didn't use those exact words. I'm just paraphrasing. And you cannot but agree with him, because I have seen so many people doing so many creative things to get around the senseless limitations that the Nigerian socio-economic environment imposes on us. More so now than ever before, with all the madness of kidnapping, all the nonsense, the unrest, the economic downturn, the crazy prices, people are being forced to get creative. And I'm just doing this recording with this video because I want every one of you, especially those of you that are my farm CEOs, I want to remind you of something I said before. I talked about the need for the farm business owner. I've said it in an article, several articles. You need to have your own R&D unit on your farm, your own research and development unit on your farm. You need to become your own R&D manager. Stop waiting. I'm sorry, I do have professors who are my friends in agriculture and other areas, very good friends for that matter. But what I'm trying to say is that don't leave it to them. It's not that I'm saying that they're useless. They have insights to offer you, but believe me, you are in a better position to identify the best way to develop solutions to suit your needs, okay, than they are to come from as external resources to offer you advice. Why? Because every farming entity is unique. Okay, so the expert, professor, or whoever, he may have the theoretical knowledge. He may have traveled around the world and seen so many things. Yeah, he could bring you ideas. But more often than not, if you apply yourself, you'll be able to adopt a unique solution because of your unique understanding of the peculiar circumstances you have in your farm and in your socio-economic environment. So we talk about IKS, Indigenous Knowledge Systems. That's another dimension to what I'm talking about. Because there are some things, like the gentleman in South Africa that I featured in one of my videos. The man was reported as was using aloe vera. So the fluid from aloe vera, okay, the sticky fluid, he uses it to protect his birds from picking up some of the typical diseases that birds have at the young ages and all that while he's rearing, the poultry birds. And so he said it has eliminated for a great part, to a great extent, the need for him to use vaccines. And you can imagine how much money he saves as a result of it, because he said it's just a natural treatment that just works so well. Now, how many people know about that? That aloe vera has anything to offer people who are running poultry businesses? I have never heard a single person in this country, Nigeria, ever since I started studying agriculture. I've never read it anywhere from any Nigerian in the Nigerian social space, in academia or outside of it, that aloe vera can be used in that manner. And yet he said in South Africa, it's something they do. Now, that's indigenous knowledge systems. It's not something that, some of these things we do, for instance, the things we do with plants like Cromolina odorata, siam weed, that's used as the leaves are so high in protein content that the Biafrans use them at a point as a replacement for the protein supplying ingredients that were used for feeding animals like rabbits and birds during the Biafran War. So when there was an embargo on importation of all these farm ingredients, feeding ingredients, all right, for livestock, they were actually able to discover that they could actually grind the leaves of Comolana odorata and include it in the feed that they were making for the livestock. I'm telling you stuff like this. This is something that actually in an information product I have, a series of CDs, a series of audios. I think there are 2 audios actually, and I sold them, I think, for 5,000 or something some years ago, about 2 years ago. I recorded them based on what I had researched and found out, and I remember a lot of you got copies. I don't know if you need it, just get across to me. But my point is, that was something that was an amazing discovery, because I know many farmers today who are talking about looking for alternatives to fish meal, and other protein supplying ingredients. And then you have siam weed. Siam weed grows everywhere. It's just a stubborn plant, grows on almost any surface, and it's there. You're walking in the bushes, on the footpaths, and you see it everywhere. Very strong plant, and the leaves are also always green and large. The point I'm making is, that's knowledge, that's IKS from the Biafrans. We are supposed to take all that kind of knowledge, share it amongst ourselves, and use it to enable ourselves deal better with the limiting circumstances in our environment. So this is just to challenge you. These are trying times, and I just want to let you know, farm business owner or business owner in any other area, you've got to think outside the box. They say a tractor is supposed to draw the plow, right? Or it's a mule or whatever. Well, the thing is, if you can get something else to work for you that is within your means already, that within your control, that you already own, then you can save a lot of money. Now, the man who's using this car, nobody will be able to tell that car has been used as a plow, to draw a plow. By the time he's done, he washes it, and he could also get an old car to do it. And if you calculate the cost of hiring a proper tractor, if I go by some of the things, I haven't had it recently, but man, they're crazy fees. And the point is, you might be able to pay somebody who owns a car, if you don't own a car, a small car, to do this for you. And it might make a world of difference and get you started on what you want to do on your farm. Maybe you do a section of your farm, and then when the time you start selling the crops from that section, then you can then use the money to hire a tractor and do more. But the point is, understand that this video shows that it's possible for you to get started, even if you don't have the ideal recommended results. And I always tell people this all the time. Learn to improvise, learn to adapt, learn to be creative. One of the things that the conventional schooling system stole from all of us, okay, with only few of us surviving and resisting it, one of the things it beat out of us was our creativity. We learned to be such one-dimensional thinkers. And if you really want to succeed in the world, you've got to become a multi-dimensional thinker. So that's how I'm going to leave this for you. Become a flexible-minded person. Learn to think outside the box. In fact, completely get rid of the box and begin to think in the way your creator made you. You are supposed to be the most intelligent thinking species on the planet. And your life, the way you live your life, should reflect it. Nothing should limit you. Because according to some religions, you are created in the image and the likeness of the Creator. Now, if the Creator is omnipotent, all powerful, then you are a product of that. Have you ever seen a lion giving back to a lamb? It's impossible. A lion cannot but give back to a lion. Therefore, if you're a child of the creator, you should be a creator yourself. And therefore, you can find solutions to any problem you have. This is the mindset that should drive you every day you go out of your house, to your business, whatever it might be. And this is the mindset that will drive you to find solutions that work and defeat any limitations you might encounter. Oh, and by the way, just in case you wonder, everything you've heard me say up till this point has literally been about farm business owning. How does that relate to finding good buyers? Because that's the theme under which I'm publishing this. It's the same thing. In looking for buyers, you've got to think outside the box. What is it that you know that people normally do or engage in order to find buyers? And then you begin to think, how can you turn that on its head? James Brown talked about you put a twist to it. That's what he talked. If you watch his biographical movie, he was always saying that he would take a song or some music he heard and he would put a twist to it. So he would do it a little bit different, putting his own special style to it, his own special way of doing things. So you bring your own self, you bring yourself and insert yourself into whatever it is you're doing in a way that sets you apart from the crowd. You've got to develop your own brand, so that you can stand out and be identified as being unique from others. It is the only way you're going to be able to compete successfully. So in order to find good buyers, first of all, you have to make good buyers able to identify you, able to see what makes it good for them to choose you over others they may be considering. Because remember, the good buyer is looking for a solution that works. Okay, and he's ready to pay. That's what makes it good. He's ready to pay for a good solution. But how will the person be able to separate you from the other people he or she may be considering hiring, to do whatever you're buying from to solve whatever problem he or she has? The only way is if you do something that makes you look different and come across as having a better offer than all the others that the person may be considering. All right, so that's why you have to think outside the box in terms of the way you package, present, and promote yourself, okay, to whoever it is that you may be approaching. So you have to do a lot of work on yourself, first of all, before you then try to step out to try and impact other people. Because it is the work you do on yourself, the way you package yourself, the way you prepare yourself, then the way you promote yourself, okay, that is what will determine to a great extent how those you want to sell to will see you and how they will be influenced by your marketing message. All right, so that's what thinking about the box, that's where it's all coming from. So even if you don't have the ideal equipment, you can still get it done if you think outside the box, if you think creatively. Like this person that went and used a car, even because you don't have a tractor or a mule. The same way, whatever it is you think you don't have, think about how you can get an alternative to it. There is always a way if you are willing to do the thinking. The book, Think and Grow Rich, I keep telling people, I've read that book so many times. Look, I got some sections of it memorized. I'm sure I'll never forget them, because during my toughest periods, when everything was really bad, and that was many times in my life as an entrepreneur, believe me, it was the words from that book that kept me going, because they were mostly stories. And so one of the things I remember the most was that it kept talking about thinking being the key. And I found out that today I'm a different person because I'm always thinking. And I found out my willingness to engage in deep thinking has always enabled me to find solutions where other people could see none. Look at it today. Everything I do today is digital. I literally, as Robert Kiyosaki prescribed, print my own money. I'm not a multi-millionaire by any means, not even a millionaire by any means, but believe me, I am ever so confident about my ability to get money when I need it. It's not even something that bothers me, because I have developed a system that enables me to keep a regular flow of leads coming to me. Of course, converting the leads into sales may not happen automatically, but generally you are able to make them happen on a reasonably regular basis. And as I get better, then my ability to convert them to sales becomes better. And as I increase the channels through which I make money, then I just get better and better. But because I've cracked the code, I know exactly what I need to do, okay, to keep going and to get better. This is the thing you need to do as well. Because what I have done is I have looked at a very unconventional way of doing business, and it's working for me because I was willing to think outside the box. I was willing to believe that I could go out, or quote unquote, go out without necessarily going out, and I could make money. I didn't believe that I just had to physically move around to make money. It's the same thing. So I looked at what instruments could I use, what tools were available to me, what media could I exploit, and I succeeded. The same thing with you. You're going to have to be open-minded like that, because a lot of what I'm going to be teaching in this series on finding good buyers is going to require you to drop a lot of what you know, a lot of what you've been taught to believe, things you have been told have been impossible. You have to drop those ideas that they are impossible and begin to consider they're possible. That's the way you're going to have to function if you really want to succeed in the manner I'm going to prescribe. I hope you understand this. If you need help, get across to me using the contact details provided at the end.